Are you somebody that is looking to upgrade your mindset so that you can start to succeed in all areas of your life? Not just one or two, not just your business, not just your health. Do you want to succeed in every area of your life? Well, you're in luck, because in today's episode, I interview Gavin Dantez, who is a hugely successful entrepreneur. I had the privilege of meeting him out in Bali, and he is such an amazing entrepreneur, coach. He's doing it all. He's succeeding in all areas of life, which I think is so important to be able to learn. So if you are ready to learn how to succeed, not just in one or two areas of your life, but how to change your mindset to succeed in all areas of your life, then make sure you stay till the end of the episode. But before we jump in, just quickly, would you mind to hit that subscribe button and the bell so that you get weekly notifications as to when I put out new videos? They're going to be absolutely everything to do with mindset, personal development, a little bit about business, basically just how you can become the best version of you possible. So make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell. Okay, now let's dive into the episode. Okay guys, welcome back to another episode of the Millennial Business Podcast. I am so excited to be joined today by my amazing friend Gavin, who I met through two of my mentors at an event that they hold called Elevate. Joel Brown and Emil Steenveld, they bring together the most amazing groups of people from all around the world, and this is where I met Gavin. So Gavin, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast today.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I absolutely love Emil and Joel, some of my really good friends. And it was an epic event.
Yeah, it was amazing. Awesome. So just to start off the episode, because I actually don't even really know your story at all. Like, I know a little bit, I see stuff on social media, but I don't really know how you got to where you are today. So would you like to share that for myself and for the audience?
Absolutely. And, I've shared this story so many different times, so I'm going to try to keep it shorter just so, it's always nice to get re-inspired by these stories of people kind of going through so much shit to finally get to this level of freedom and then, kind of really make that impact. So it's nice to really rehear that, to get re-inspired, but at the same time, get to tactical and things that you can actually do. So I'll just give a brief background, and then if anybody wants to know more about my story, they can Google me or take a look on some of the other podcasts that I've done. So I can really try to give as much value here. So for me, I was one of those kids that was always daydreaming. I was never good in school. I just put no effort in. I had no interest in being there. I just wanted to play sports, and my visualization muscles were always somewhere else. But I didn't know anything about entrepreneurship. I didn't even know what that word meant. And, throughout high school, I was really good at sports. That was my one skill that I had. But then I kept getting all these injuries, and that led me to just doing drugs, drinking, and then selling drugs, and kind of going down a path that I really didn't expect to go. I thought I was going to be a pro athlete. So it was this really weird transition, and I had so much insecurity, anxiety, zero emotional intelligence, didn't know how to control myself, didn't understand it. Thought if I didn't get a degree, then I would be a failure in life, kind of that programming that we get. And over the years, I kept getting little awakening moments. I had some near-death experiences, and I found my first mentor, and he was a fitness trainer, and he just started to show me that if I want something, I can take responsibility and get it on my own. That was a huge awakening. Before that, I've been in sports. The coach tells you to do this. You're always kind of being told to do, but then to take your life in your own hands and start choosing, that was a very interesting thing that happened. And then I got offered a network marketing opportunity, got into this, and it opened up my eyes that there was something else out there. Kind of got obsessed with that. And then what happened to me was the guy handed me this little drive of audiobooks, Brian Tracy and Tony Robbins. And I just became absolutely obsessed when I was 25 years old. I'm 33. Never read a business book or anything until that point. And I just started devouring these things. And it was all these internal feelings I had my whole life. There has to be something else in the world. There's something wrong here. Why is everyone following blindly? I didn't understand any of it. And then they started to speak to all my feelings, articulating what I'd been feeling for so long. That 1% of wisdom that is just not really shared to the public, even though people can find it, it's not what we actually get taught in school. We get taught to actually be a robot for the system. And I'm not saying everything in school is bad, but that's what we get taught. We get taught to just stay within the system, feed the system our energy, not think outside of it and create our own reality. So as soon as this started happening, I started going into the internet marketing. I found a video from Brian Swan called Create Your Perfect Day. He just said, write down, like if you had one day to live over and over again, what would that perfect day look like? And I wrote down 6 pages of like exactly what I wanted my life to look like. And then within 5 years, it was exactly my life, like specifically. Because a lot of times we get told, set goals. Okay, set a goal to make $1 million. But if you make $1 million doing something you hate, then was it worth it, right? Or if you set up your life around like these compartmentalized goals, what if 90% of the time you're doing things out of alignment with your values? You know, so fuck money if you're going to be doing things out of alignment with your values and you feel horrible doing it.
Yeah.
So Create Your Perfect Day was about like, what would you do for work? What would you do for contribution? What would you eat in the morning? Who would you spend time with? Where would you live? And I painted it all like so vivid, like a movie in my mind. And it's like Google. If you type in a long-tailed keyword, you get a more specific result. If you type in a short thing like health, well, you can get anything about health. You know, so you type in these specific words into your mind, and now your mind's reticular activating system starts to see it everywhere, just like when you drive your car off the lot, you start to see the same car everywhere.
Yeah.
So started to go down that path, but then it was 5 years of pure pain, like learning, starting business, failing, learning, starting, failing, friends, family saying I'm crazy, them saying I'm even crazier when I fail, like, why don't you go back to school? Why don't you go to university? Oh, like constant scrutiny of everything that I was doing, to the point then where about 4 or 5 years in, I started a business, e-commerce business, and we did from 0 to 3 million that 1 year, you know? And it was like, whoa, what just happened here?
Wow.
And it was that accumulation of all the psychology, of all the marketing, of all the testing, of all the reading, of all the learning, of all the networking, of all these things just eventually accumulated into an understanding of how this works. Like, oh, I just have to learn how to exchange value to somebody. I need to give them more value than what I'm receiving, and I have to multiply that by lots of people and systematize that process. And there's like a money machine, right?
Yeah.
Now, even then within that, okay, I had this e-commerce business. It was cool. It was like creating a lot of passive income too, because once it was systematized, I didn't have to work that hard on it. But I started to really lose passion for it because I really wanted to do something of impact. I'm like, I have all these skills. I've learned all these things. Like, how can I reach my hand back and help people that were in my position? My favorite feeling in the world is seeing someone's eyes light up when they see what's actually possible. Yeah. When it's like that moment of like, oh my God, I can actually do that. And they get one skill or they test one thing, and it's like, whoa, like an exercise I'll do with people sometimes. I'll just teach them how to memorize the 20-digit code forward and backwards in like 5 minutes. And they're like, what? How did I never get taught how to do that in school? You know, I'll show them doing like 100-digit forward and backwards. And I'm the type of person in school, I always said, I don't have a good memory. Like, wait, no, we just never got taught how our memory works, right? So now, at this point in my life, I'm living out here in Bali. They're just the most freaking amazing friends. I'm really focused only on the things that I'm passionate about. I have a course called Limitless. It's all about upgrading your mind and being more persuasive and learning how to actually make the right decisions and focus, take the right action. It takes speed of implementation, build yourself. And then I work in PR, and I have a partnership position in PR, and we get people featured in Forbes magazine, Inc. magazine, Entrepreneur, all high-level publications. I really got obsessed with decoding media before, because I'm like, media is so manipulated, like so much manipulation in media. It's always a control of the narrative, but usually it's not in a good way for people. I'm like, how can I counteract that and put out amazing stories of amazing entrepreneurs, put out more positivity in the world instead of negativity? That's where I'm at right now.
Amazing. There's just so much I want to unpack from that. I think it's truly amazing where you've come from to what you've created, because I see what you're doing on social media, and not just through your Limitless program and what you're helping people with that, but even I noticed that you seem to be the sort of person that will do something until you master it. Like, I see you kicking your football and you're like, an absolute master at that. I see you in the gym and you absolutely master that. Like you seem to have the mindset of mastering something versus trying to overwhelm your brain with trying to do too many different things at once. That is something that I actually struggle with. I find myself getting so excited by so many different things. I'm a very excitable person. And I'm like, oh my God, this is a great idea. And then we could do this and this and this and this. How do you decide like what you want to master and spend your attention on every day?
What a question. Well, that there it comes down to, again, that perfect day. So when we start to ask ourselves, like, what do we value? What do I like? Where's my passion? Where's my talent? Where's my contribution? Like asking these questions. But then also, like, where is just my hobbies and fun? And where are those things that I can do that also elevate the other things because they take my mind off it and get me into flow. So it's a decoding process. It's like dipping your toes into multiple things. And when I find something that I think I really want to do, then I immerse myself. So I learned lots of things. I actually am more like you in that. I'm very high in openness on, if you look on the scales, like people are either closed or like open, where some people really focus on one thing and they don't want to do any lateral thinking. I love the connecting of the dots and trying all sorts of things. Because I feel like the more things you do, the more perspectives you get, and more perspectives equal more wisdom. The more you can like travel, understand different cultures, understand different people, the more you have empathy and you can see from all angles. So I started to ask myself those questions: what do I actually want to do? And then sometimes it's like, maybe I'm just going to try this random thing. But overall, I started studying guys like Tim Ferriss and Josh Waitzkin on like the art of learning, like accelerated learning, Wyatt Woodsmall as well. Learning actually how to learn and learning how to learn how to learn. And this is not taught in school at all. We get taught rote learning, which is memorization, regurgitation, and there's a little bit of critical thinking within the box. But there's very little causality of learning. So how does learning actually work? How does the brain actually encode? How do we actually use this supercomputer as powerfully as possible? Those are the questions that make you more adaptable within reality, and you can learn things fast. And people are like, how the heck did you do that? So how can you do all these different things? Where it's like, well, actually, we should be asking, why can't everybody else? Is it actually like a superpower, or is it actually just decoding how it works and then actually working smart and hard versus just working hard? And if I just wanted to work hard in reality, I'll go dig ditches. If I want to chop down the tree and work my ass off, I'm going to use the dull axe, or I'm going to spend a little time sharpening the axe and chop it down easily, right? So I'm always thinking, how do I still work hard, put in the effort, because reality is about cause and effect. You have to break down the muscle to rebuild. But I used to see people in the gym every single day, 2 hours, and they would do this for months and months and months when I was a personal trainer and when I would work at these different gyms, and they wouldn't get any results. They would come inside and they would like walk on the treadmill and they'd like walk around and they'd be there for 2 hours and they'd get like no results because they probably also not eat very good food. I started to realize that people actually believe that the wrong effect or the wrong cause is what's going to get them the effect. So they actually, it's so crazy. But I actually started to realize that they actually thought walking in the gym was the cause. Where I'm like, I can do a 10-minute workout and get more results than a lot of people who do an hour and a half, right? Because I understand the actual goal is to break down the muscle, right? So if I can do it quicker, well, some days I'm just going to do that 12-minute leg workout or that. It's not about the amount of time. It's about the actual result that you want and decoding how that works. So when you do that, you can add in a lot more things in your life. You look at Tim Ferriss, all the things he mastered and all the things he accomplished in such a short period of time. It's not just because he's some super genius, it's because he decoded how it works.
Yeah, and I think that's so important. The schooling system really doesn't enable us to be able to even know that, okay, once we leave school, we actually need to relearn how to learn, because they teach us that you learn everything you need to know in school and that's all you need. But in reality, there's so many things that they don't teach you in school, like empathy and kindness and how to deal with stress and overwhelm and how to create a vision and goals for yourself. Like there's so many different things. And I feel so blessed that I got into the personal development world at such a young age. I went to my first personal development event at 22, and it just opened my eyes to a whole new world of possibility, because I was like, oh my God, this is what I feel like I've been missing the whole time. And I feel like now it's my mission to help people and to share this knowledge with people, because like you said, when you were telling us about your story, the media and like in the mainstream media, they just feed us information of what they want us to know. They don't want us to know that there's actually a better way of living and a better way to life. And I think that's such an important thing. And I'm sure you teach stuff like that in your Limitless program of mindset, and how you can reprogram your brain to actually function at its peak level, because it's really not, we're not taught how to do that in school.
No, it's crazy. Imagine just being given like a supercomputer and having just like zero idea how to use it, and like just having no owner's manual, So of course you're going to have this thing that has so much potential, but you're only using a tiny bit of its potential. And I don't believe, like, when people say like we only use like a certain percentage of our brain. I don't actually believe that at the level that, I don't think there's any real proof behind that. But I do believe that we don't actually learn how to use it properly. Yeah. Right. So we don't learn how it even works in the first place. If we don't know that, then how are we expected to develop at our highest level? It's like we're all basically cavemen living in this new modern world. If we're born 5,000, 10,000, 20,000 years ago, biologically, psychologically, we're almost the same, which is great to know, because back then we could have, if we had the right books, mentors, people, we could have evolved as well at super high level. Yeah. But there's such a huge gap from people who just stay at this level and learn from the education system, and those who go and read books from millionaires, biohackers, health experts, relationship experts, like people who are like really decoding at the highest level that we know now in neuroscience, evolutionary psychology. You can go and take all that person's life's work that they learned from all the other people's life's work, and you can get this highest level of wisdom in all these areas, and then you can connect all of those dots, and you can like navigate through this world so powerfully, And to me, to not do that is like so disrespectful for every single generation that got you here. They got you here by going through blood, sweat, tears, terrible atrocities. Finally, us to emerge into this magic, and then you just waste it, like just watching Netflix and like keeping your come on, That's why.
It's so crazy, and it's really frustrating, I feel, and you've probably experienced this as well, as somebody who is interested in personal development, when you meet people who are super complacent and just totally happy to like stay in the same spot, stay in the same job for 30 years, or like 5 years if they've just recently left school. Like I know a lot of young people that are so happy to just stay in their job. They watch the news every day. They just get fed the information that the media wants. They're not looking for anything extra. They don't want to do anything extra with their life. And as someone who is the complete opposite of that, and I think that if you're staying in the same spot, then like you're literally failing, that you need to always be growing and learning and becoming better. It's so frustrating. Like is there any way that you've found that we can actually start to wake people up and show them that there is a better way of life? Or do you think there's just some people that are naturally never going to be as motivated as us?
Yeah, it's in nature, this is called natural selection, right? And the reality that we live in now is like a bubble wrapped society. And there's probably some things that I'm going to say here that may offend some people. It doesn't really matter. The fact is, like, the truth behind it is, in nature, no matter what group of animals there's people who have better genes and worse genes. And when I'm saying better and worse, that doesn't actually mean like better without any goals. But if there's like goals of like intelligence and being able to like see beyond and be able to visualize and be able to do, there are some people that don't have the same capability. However, I think everybody is necessary in many different ways, right? There are people who are necessary to do jobs that I don't want to do. To keep a system of 7.6 billion people, you need a lot of people as robots. And that sounds so fucked up, but that's why the system exists the way it does. That's why people do not get taught to think at high levels, because everyone's taught to think at high levels and everyone's trying to only do this. Then how do you keep a society running? So you keep people down to run your empire for you. Yeah. I'm just not people. And anyone listening and anybody who we talk to doesn't have to be one of them either, but that may be fine for them. And I can't tell them how to live. If they want that, that's okay. Great. Like, we can't expect everyone to think the way we are. There's so many different personality types, so many different ways people like to live. That's all good. But for you and I and our mission, we want to help the people who don't know that. We want to help the people who've been trained to be like everybody else, who know they're different. They just haven't had the guidance, right? They just need somebody to actually articulate to them what they've been feeling and then give them that blueprint or that gateway drug into this world. Yeah. So it is what it is.
Totally. For someone who is listening to this podcast and they're thinking, shit, okay, maybe I'm someone who is a little bit complacent and I would like to start looking at my life and seeing how I could potentially improve it, or where I'm potentially not as awake. I use that word. I don't know how I use that word, but do you know what I mean? Not as awake as some other people. Because you said when you were younger, there was just a moment where you realized you had to take responsibility, and it was your responsibility to change your life and no one else's. If there's somebody that's listening to this podcast and they're maybe having the same realization, what would be some tactical advice on some first steps down the direction of the path that we are, that they could take to start potentially learning these things? Or what are some things that you did when you were first starting out?
Sure. So I'll go through like 5 different things here. So first off, write out what's his vision. Like, when I talk about the perfect day is about writing out, like, from the moment you wake up to the moment you go to bed. If you had to live the same day over and over again and you wouldn't get bored of it, what would that day look like? Because this is what's going to clarify your values. The chances of you thinking that you just want to lie on the beach every single day, like, that's pretty freaking boring, you know? So what would you do in the morning? What would your morning routine look like? What would you be eating? Who would you be spending your time with? What would you be doing for passion, purpose, contribution? Where would you be living in the world? Because you can choose anywhere, regardless if you think you can't or not. You absolutely can. What would that be? Now you know your values. You know, like, kind of what you truly want. And now you're also pushing away the things that are less important. You know, so you're also realizing you're narrowing in on that focus, which then makes you ask, okay, well, what will I have to learn to do that? So for me, as soon as I saw my perfect day, I'm like, I need an internet business. There's no way around it. I didn't know exactly what it looked like at this point. I wasn't like perfect about that, but I knew, okay, I have to create something where I can travel, because I traveled many times in backpack and I always came home broke. You know, I would travel and lose money. Now I travel and make money. Kind of a weird concept, but it's just how it works. So you have to clarify these things. And then you're like, well, who do I want to spend my time with? Okay, who do I have to be to attract those people? Because we attract. Why do I deserve to be around certain people if I'm not willing to work on myself? Do I just want them to just, like, give me everything and just, like, you know, always pull me up? Or do I want to have a lot of value, so when I'm hanging around people, they want to hang out with me? You know, where's that match? So I'm never asking, like, what do I want? I'm asking, like, who do I need to be? So yeah, you paint your vision and then you just go to work on yourself to become that. So I realized I need to upgrade my mind. I need to really understand marketing and psychology at a higher level. I just really need to upgrade myself, which leads us to, we have to upgrade our brain. We have to start to learn how this supercomputer actually works. If we don't, we're in big trouble, because everything's random. Everything happens randomly. But if you know this, you can now decode it and you can actually start to develop it purposefully and consciously. You know, all the philosophers would say the unexamined life isn't worth living. You know, you're examining yourself, you're self-realizing, self-hacking. You're the computer hacker of your own mind. What does a computer hacker do? They find out how a system operates so they can get inside and then change the way it operates. That's all you are. You're the computer hacker. You find how it operates, you coincide, you tweak it, and now you start acting and behaving differently. Better input, better processing equals better output. And then now that you've learned like a lot about the mind, now you have better communication skills to other people and better persuasion and influence skills. All money comes from other people. Whether you have a job or you have a business, you can't have money unless it comes from somebody else. It would probably be better to just not have one boss who at any time can fire you, and then you don't have any money.
Yeah.
It's a lot nicer when you have thousands of people giving you money, and if one of them fires you, you say, that's okay, I have all these other people giving me money, you know?
Yeah.
So that's something to think about. How do I understand myself, understand other people, and then how do I go find products and services or create products and services that can give massive value to other humans? And now you know what's valuable to other humans because you understand how their mind works. What's valuable to people? Well, they want safety and survival. They want love and connection. They want higher self-esteem. They want self-actualization. They want to feel like they're part of something bigger. Every product and service can connect to those. And what do people really want? They want to feel better during this experience of life. So now you can go out and solve people's problems, sell them products and services that solve their problems and help them achieve the things that they desire. And you make money and helping a lot of people. And then you just keep rinsing and repeating that process. So I would think about those things.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, guys. So really sort of doing a life audit and seeing where you're at, thinking about where you want to get to, then looking at sort of the ways you can get there and really stepping into the person that you want to become, because I think that's the most important part. And then,
I want to on that. Something
Sure.
I learned from Buddha Dispenza on this is so powerful, where most of the decisions we make, if we are not getting ahead of our mind, are calculations based off of our past. So we calculate our future based off all of our past, which is like a linear path like this. That was who I was. That must be who I am. That means this is who I'm going to be. That's how our brain calculates linear. But we can go like quantum or exponential, meaning we can use our mind to visualize that greater version of ourselves in 5 years. And in the morning, if you do this every single morning, sit there, visualize for 5 to 10 minutes, imagine that higher level version of yourself, step into that person, open up your eyes and start taking actions that that person would take, and start doing that on a regular basis. And then your growth will be like this versus like this, because you're going to be that person. We act in alignment with who we believe our identity to be. So just upgrade your identity. That doesn't mean be delusional and pretend that you're a millionaire when you're not a millionaire, but feel like a millionaire. You know, feel like that person. Lie to people, don't lie to yourself, but feel like that version of yourself you're going to be, because you'll start acting like them.
Yeah, totally. And guys, if you want to hear more about sort of how you can reinvent yourself and your mindset, I actually made a YouTube episode on this the other day. So you can head to my YouTube channel if you want some sort of tactical steps as to how you can reinvent yourself and your mindset. Gavin, if people want to hear more from you about your Limitless program or where they can find you online, where can you share with the audience where we can find you?
Yeah, you can Google my name, Gavin Dantez, Dantez instead of S. Podcaster there, Forbes article, Inc. article, LinkedIn, Instagram. And Instagram's probably the best place if you just want to connect with me or just like check out my day-to-day and some content. I got a lot of free content on my Instagram. And for a couple people who reach out, I'll definitely hook some people up with a free Limitless course from this. So tell people to reach out and say that they saw me on this podcast, and I'll give away like 5 free courses.
Amazing. That's absolutely epic. Guys, this is mind-blowing. The first person, Gavin, you have the medal for the first person ever to offer something to my audience. So thank you for that. Guys, you heard it here. Make sure that you, sorry. You go.
I've realized over time that they just give value into the world with no expectation of something in return. Now, I'm not saying build businesses that make money, but I am saying don't be the type of person who's always trying to get something back, and instead be the type of person that's always making sure to give their gifts to the world and just see what comes back. It may not come back just in terms of money, but I promise you it will come back in terms of fulfillment, guaranteed.
Amazing.
Thank you so much, Gavin, for joining me. You have provided so much value. Thank you for offering my audience, some of my audience, a free, limitless access to your program. Guys, I hope you enjoyed this episode. Please go and check Gavin out on his social media accounts. I love following his Instagram. He's so authentic, truly himself, and never worries about what other people would say, what other people would think about him. Just shows up fully as himself every day, especially on his Insta. So go and follow him there. And until the next episode, I'll see you later. Bye.
Oh my God, was that not the most amazing episode you've ever seen on YouTube? Was it? Was it? Let me know in the comments if you thought it was the most amazing episode you've ever seen on YouTube. I loved everything that Gavin had to say. So if you felt the same way, please make sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell so that you get notifications as to when I put out more valuable content like this. And if you feel as though you maybe need a little bit of support, maybe need some help implementing the things that Gavin was talking about, please make sure to shoot me an email, coachtaylorvictoria@gmail.com, and I will be able to figure out how I can support you in absolutely anything that you need. And until the next episode, I'll see you later. Bye.